Yo guys, what is going on? It is Invin here, and today what I'm talking to you guys about is the upcoming 3v3 arenas that we are going to be seeing at some point during the spring season here for New World. Now, these were actually announced with the roadmap in the most recent dev video and then on Twitter and the forum subsequently afterwards. And basically, these were said to be coming in spring. It's pretty clear we're not going to be seeing these in March unless they suddenly, surprisingly, add these in the next couple of days. But I would think we're going to see these on the PTR first. My guess for this is going to be May, as they have already said at the end of their last dev update video that April was going to be another kind of bugs balancing type patch to kind of smooth things off again, which I think is a really good idea ahead of these 3v3 arenas because, of course, we want it to be good. And what I want to talk about today is my visions for it, what I would like to see, and kind of get a discussion going between myself and you guys on what we think would be kind of the best approach to these, how it would work the best, and how it would keep players engaged, because obviously when this comes out it's something a lot of us, including myself, are very excited for, and I think we all want it to succeed. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now, before we fully jump into today's video, if you haven't done so yet, please do go down below and drop a subscribe to the channel and drop me a like if you do go on to enjoy today's video. Both of those things really help me out and support my content here on the channel. And without further ado, let's jump into it. So it's just going to be a quick video, like I said, discussing arenas, 3v3s, and what we would like to see. The first thing that I kind of wanted to touch on, because we've seen it announced alongside this, is the PvP reward track. Now, the way that they've kind of set this up is that it's going to be any PvP that you do within the game, you're going to progress towards these rewards, which will unlock at a certain threshold for however much XP that you get for this PvP style gameplay. Now, they haven't explicitly said what these rewards would be. A lot of players have been kind of, guessing at what we could see here, whether it's going to be umbral shards, whether it's going to be specific 600 plus PvP specific perk gear, whether it's going to be consumables like your gemstone dust or your oak flesh balm, or whether it's going to be things like gold. Other players have said that they'd like to see some cosmetic benefits to this, so maybe every few levels, 5-10 levels, something along those lines, depending of course upon what type of thing we see. Maybe we could get exclusive cosmetics that are only from the PvP tree. I personally really like that idea and think that that would be an amazing thing. Also, some players have said exclusive titles. Again, I fully back that. I think that would be a really cool idea to get some exclusive PvP track titles so that people know, you've earned an achievement there with that, right? I also think it'd be really cool if we could see some, even maybe coloured titles. I mean, I don't know how this would work in New World, we don't want to break the kind of setting, if you will, but maybe some like golden titles, silver titles, that sort of thing, at least in the PvP arena when you're actually fighting in there, depending upon how high up in this system you go. Now, some people have talked about if there's going to be ranks, if there's going to be leaderboards. All of that we don't know as of yet. However, what I would say on this is I really, really hope, even if it's not released with it and we get a sort of pre-season, which is, what most players are expecting, to give them a chance to test out different things, see how the balancing works, see how the actual arenas themselves play out, if there's one or if there's multiple, how that actually works when people are running around it. And on top of that, what people kind of use, what needs to change, anything, if you can use certain consumables that they actually don't like once it comes into fruition on the live servers or the PTR, they've got to have a chance to change that. So I think we probably will see a pre-season, but after this it'd be really cool to see either some sort of ranked system with elo and that kind of thing, or a leaderboard of different things, so healing done, damage mitigated, all that kind of stuff would be amazing. And I know we're seeing the leaderboards added in later in the year, but if we could see these, a little mini version of it released with the arenas, I think that would keep a lot of players interested for a much larger amount of time, because it does essentially make it competitive. Even if there's not an official rank system, if there's a leaderboard there, players are going to love it. So I would highly, highly hope that that is something that we see. I don't know this yet, obviously we know nothing's been confirmed or said that they're not going to have it, but that is what I would hope for. Some sort of ranking, leaderboards, or even just a really good reward track to keep people engaged for the time being. We could add in a leaderboard later down the line. If the reward track is really good, then that'd be awesome as well. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that. See what you would like to see released with it. Would you like a leaderboard? Would you like a ranked system? Or would you just like really good rewards? Or all of them if you could? Let me know that in the comments as well down below. But obviously, that will depend, I think, upon the replayability of it, how good the rewards are, let's say, because that's something we know we're getting. If they're really good, lots of people are going to replay it. If they're decent, most people replay it. If they're pretty trash or it's something that you can get easier from elsewhere, most people won't. I think a lot of players would like to see some Umbral shards to give the PvP guys a chance to earn shards that actually will get them to the higher levels, you know, not just 50 or 100, getting, you know, higher up there. But of course, they've got to balance it between how quick and how easy the games are to win if you're a good team. There's a lot of stuff to think about, but people are saying Umbral shards in that reward track. I think that'd be cool as well to give PvP guys a way to level up outside of the PvE expedition type thing. Now with this as well, if they are wanting mutations to be the kind of key way to earn your Umbral shards, I think it would be a really cool thing to be able to get some of the mutated keys from the rewards track, or some of the arena keys, all that kind of stuff. Or maybe you could get a choice between straight up shards or a key to maybe do a higher level. You could choose between them depending on what style of play you like. That sort of thing I think would be really cool as well. So we'll have to wait and see until we get more news and confirmation on that. And of course, as soon as we do, I will bring you guys an update video on it. But this is just kind of my thoughts and feelings and how I hope it will be for now. Now, of course, when you're looking at small-scale PvP, I think this is something that really shines in New World, the way that the combat works and how you interact with each other. Obviously, let's pretend it's an ideal world. Everything's fully polished and it works with no desync. There's no lag at all. It's just very smooth gameplay. You would want to look at certain weapons in the 3v3 environment. For example, the musket would do a lot of damage, but is it going to be viable? Is it going to be a big enough area? Then you've got to look at things like the life staff. Are they going to be unkillable, or, you know, is it going to be a fairly even fight? And again, I think that depends on skill and playstyle, so I think that's why we're going to have this pre-season that I keep going on about. I think that's what they'll add in first. But, you know, you have got to think about these things. You've got to consider it, and I'm sure this is what their team is doing right now. So I kind of wanted to spitball some ideas. It'd be nice if there was some sort of queue system where you could sign up maybe one healer, 2 damage dealers, or 1 healer, 1 tank, 1 damage dealer, whatever you want to do, composition-wise. So that also, if you don't have a 3v3 team as such from your own company or friends list, you could team up with random people for it. And I'm sure, you know, the recruitment and the global chat, etc. will have people doing this, but a nice implemented feature where you could just press up and queue, which is what I would imagine, again, is coming with this group finder thing we're going to see later in the year. Again, this should include that, but yeah, it'd be cool to see it come out somewhere along the lines as well. And of course, if you could get a team rating or team rank as well further down the line, I think that would be really cool to encourage you to play with the same 3 people and progress. Again, maybe not right at the start, but once it's kind of fine-tuned, I think that would be an awesome little addition. Now, obviously, with this being a 3v3 environment, obviously a lot of players have said, what about a 1v1? What about a 5v5? And again, I think these things would be really, really cool. I think that 3v3 is a great way to start it out because it's going to give everybody the chance to test things on a smaller scale combat style without being enough for a team versus team with a full 5v5. And, you know, without working out the most broken solo builds to then transfer over. Because I'm sure there's going to be different playstyles. Obviously, if you solo, paladins might do really well in solos, and they might do really well in 3v3s, but they're going to play slightly differently, use different abilities maybe. So it would be something that we could see further down the line, and I personally would like those different variations. But for now, you know, we're obviously hoping they're going to focus on the 3v3s and really make those as balanced and as fun to play as is physically possible. Now, as well, with this, one thing a lot of players have been speculating is if it releases without these leaderboard systems or without some sort of rank or even just good rewards, is it going to be released at the wrong time? A player's not going to be interested? And I think the answer to that is yes. There needs to be good rewards. There needs to be a leaderboard, even if it's not right away. If the rewards are good enough, it will hold off, like I said before. If the rewards are not good enough, players are going to want a leaderboard early doors. So hopefully that's something we see. Or a ranked system, you know, a rating system, an elo system, however you want to do it. Something I started talking about earlier in the video. It's something that I think a lot of players would really get behind and really want to improve on because it gives something for people to grind for. If you're the #1 spot, you still want to play because you want to maintain that. If you're not at that #1 spot, you want to play it until you get up there, or at least, you know, top 10, top 100, whatever they want to do. And I think this would be really cool. If it's going to be cross-server is another thing a lot of people have talked about. Now, obviously, in the developers' video, they did say further down the line, they're looking at cross-server play between different members of different servers. Right now, it's not something that we have in the game. And a lot of players, again, have been speculating, is it the right time to release this if we don't have cross-server compatibility? Now, again, I keep saying it, the pre-season type test phase that we'll probably have when this first goes live, is, I think, fine to be server-based, because obviously there's going to be a few people who are really good that kind of dominate it, but it's going to give people a chance to try out different builds, try out different parts of the map, run into different locations, use their abilities, all that kind of good stuff, and iron out all of those things on the connection of just one server before they then implement cross-server compatibility, which is, you know, something potentially we'll see in the future that would allow us to play with other server members. And hopefully by that point, you know, desync and lag and all stuff like that, the desync strike team have come into full force and taken care of that for us, so that we're actually playing on a really smooth environment. And I think that would be a much better time, and I'm assuming that's what the Amazon Games team have thought as well, to release cross server rather than doing it early when there's still a few issues with connection, because obviously that would spoil it. And I think that cross server is going to be a massive thing for this game, so if they get it done right at the time when they're ready for it, it could be insane. And again, who knows, it might come out with this, we don't know that yet. I'm just speculating for now, just talking about ideally what we'd like. But of course, when we do get the information on that, I will be sure to cover it. So that's going to be it, guys. Just a really quick sort of thoughts and feelings on this. A few things I've seen bounced around the community, whether it's on the forums, on Reddit, in-game itself, or indeed here in the YouTube comments. A lot of you guys have been talking to me about the arenas and kind of saying, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So I thought I'll do a video, tell my thoughts and feelings and my hopes for this when it does get released. And of course, do be sure to share yours down below in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're hoping for, etc. And let's see what we can come up with as a community as the ideal situation. Now, other than that, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. So I would like to thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you again very, very shortly on a brand new upload. Take care, guys, and peace.